Alright, here's one I've been dreading. Also, my written notes keep disappearing. Maybe I shouldn't dictate these to myself in an email. Maybe Dragon Naturally Speaking should be more user-friendly. Anyway, we open on the world's most glorious rat hole. Seeking a break from the lunatic Zamfir, Trevor tries to find some space to think. Explicitly, so that he and Sypha can stop reacting and start acting. They have time to get their thoughts together and plan for the first time in over a month and a half, and they do their best when they actually have some time to get some thinking done. We cut to an indefensible village trying to defend, and in spite of everything, best they've got are some log walls that are currently getting punched through. Alucard's rushing along the 20-mile leap on the back of a horse that's going to keep showing up after a while. A black-clad Dampier with no horse. Oy. This was a long time coming. He arrives just as the bodies have only freshly dropped. And after he very quickly dispatches the night creatures, he gets a formal introduction to the village headwoman, Greta. Amidst her remarks about low-key swagger and needing his commitment to protect them, and why he, of all people, was the best she could think of, I got very strong vibes of Alucard's mother. I'm getting the sense that he did too. Sensing the battle is over, Saint Germain stops hiding in the laboratory, somehow maintaining that very nice suit from the games. And we get a quick cut to his chain of events. In the previous season, it said it was long ago that he lost someone very dear to him in the Infinite Corridor, but we see him age up to 20 years until he looks like he did in the prior season. Same coat and hat and everything. When he even meets this person, she is not given a name, she has no speaking role. We cut to him meeting her, them conversing, him mentioning he wants to find the book to find the Infinite Corridor, them finding the book, her getting lost in the corridor, him meeting Sypha and Trevor, concluding that battle with him re-entering the corridor, not having any control over the corridor, and finally finding the moving library they were separated in, only to find an alchemist who reminds him there's only one way to control a tunnel portal through the Infinite Corridor, as achieved last season through mass human sacrifice, and only one can shift the doors around correctly. The infinite corridor being a series of doors that move in and out of time and space. You can jump ahead 1,000 years, or you can move to the next township in an instant. It can be random, it can be out of this world. But taking all those souls only opens a predetermined place and sustains an opening. To actually have control over the corridor and to shift and move around, you need Dracula. So that's one more person trying to bring Dracula back. But Saint-Germain doesn't exactly like the idea of mass murder. So he is reminded. The alchemist reminds him that the true path of an alchemist is not necessarily that of a moral man. The task is one thing, morals and beliefs are usually something else. The actual requirement of Dracula is to be fused into something called a rebus. Without forging him into this strange creature, he will not be able to perform the navigation needed. He is more component than controller. Saint-Germain eventually relents on the grounds that he will do anything to tell her that he loves her. However, I recall him saying how delighted he was that she had returned back to her point of origin when they were conversing before. I greatly suspect that she got the hint. Cutting back to the present, or at least to the opening of the season, the 6 weeks ago, he murders what might be a merchant in exchange for a transmission mirror. He's one more in possession of those, and that's not the last one we'll see this season. I still say he could have just swung sideways with the flat of the hammer, knocked the guy out, maybe. If he's so horrified by killing a person, it would have been worth a try. However, he seems to grow more into it later. Look at the face he makes when demanding the final location of Dracula's castle. Then comes Varney, activating the transmission mirror, and he wants to work with Saint Germain, but he's quite mum about how he knows what Saint Germain is doing. Saint Germain, however, is not vague about how he knows who Varney is. He shouldn't be able to smell Varney, but many a scholar has written how to identify you from 1,000 paces by your stench. Needless to say, they both want Dracula back, so they're willing to put up with each other. Varney a bit more eagerly so. And we cut back to the present following setup for the next episode. Saint Germain points out that the village of Dynasty is indefensible, and then the horse comes with a sizable collection of people. That's more than we see in just about any frame this season, right there. So, Alucard can only take them back to the castle in the Belmont hold, much to his horror. He really is turning into Trevor Belmont.